What a beaut. One of the neatest places you can explore at Cuyahoga Valley National Park is the Beaver Marsh. These industrious little rodents transform streams into flooded wetlands, creating an entire habitat for all sorts of plants and wildlife. That's pretty neat. But things weren't always this neat. Beavers were nearly hunted to extinction in Ohio in the 1800s, killed for their fur to make fancy schmancy hats for Europe's wealthiest hat enthusiasts. The area we are currently in was drained to be a dairy farm in the early 1900s, then later became what was basically a used car lot. Lots of broken down vehicles leaking oil and gas into the soil. Not exactly America's best idea. To teach us more about how this was turned from a rusty old car lot to this beautiful beaver marsh are Peg and Rob Bobel. They led efforts to help restore this habitat and bring the beavers back. Peg and Rob, thanks for joining me today.
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Chris.
So, what was this like when you guys first started working in this area?
Well, it actually goes back farther than you could imagine because I had a Volkswagen.
You had a Volkswagen?
And it needed a part. And so I came down here, and right behind us, out along Riverview Road, was a Volkswagen repair shop. And it was pretty interesting and pretty crummy looking, a lot of old car parts sitting around. So that was my first exposure to what this place was like before it became a beaver marsh. When we first started walking down here to look for birds and such, there was just a lot of trash, a lot of debris, car parts. Yeah, you can just imagine what there would have been here.
So how do you go from all these broken down vehicles and trash and pollution to, like, how do you even start cleaning all that up?
Well, the good thing is the National Park Service came in. The Park Service started buying up properties, and they purchased this old junkyard car repair shop. So that's like the most important thing. They purchased it. They removed the buildings, but that didn't do the whole thing. So it became a partnership. And the Beavers actually moved in before we came down as humans to start cleaning things up beyond what the Park Service could do.
Did you work with a lot of volunteers to help kind of finish up the cleanup and help get all that stuff out of there?
Exactly. That's exactly what we did. So we started coming down. The Beavers moved in, and they started to flood what was behind the old car repair shop. And what we could see was that they were living in a place that wanted to be pristine, but wasn't. It had a lot of car parts and trash still around. So we were both members of the Sierra Club, both the Cleveland group and the Akron group, and we decided, okay, let's do what we can. And we put out the call, and oh my gosh, and we had 29 folks show up and worked all day. And we came in by canoe. We had about 3 or 4 canoes, I think.
Yep.
We came in by land, and we just started cleaning up.
So how long did that process take? Was it like just a couple weekends? Did it take years? How long did it take you guys and your army of volunteers and Navy of volunteers?
Navy, yeah, Army, Navy. Surprisingly, it didn't take too long. We put in one full day. The one full day really did the trick. And we documented for the park what we pulled out of here. And the way we put it, there were like 60 bags of trash. There were tires. There were light bulbs. There was a toilet. And then, as you put it, there were enough car parts to build several more cars, So, but really, it was mostly that one intensive effort that did the trick. People have come in since then and done, relatively minor cleanups. But if you get a bunch of energetic people to come out on one full day, you can get a lot done.
So how do the beaver start flooding an area like this?
Well, the first thing they have to do, just as if they were going to start flooding a stream, is they have to start building dams. This was a natural wetland before it was drained for a dairy farm. And so all of the natural habitat that would be here for wetland were already here. The trees are wetland species. A lot of the plants were here. The seed bank was there. That's why when they came in and flooded it, it just turned into a wetland like that.
What sort of wildlife did you guys start to see as this wetland started to kind of self-sustain?
Well, the plants will bring in the insects because they'll need to be fertilized. The insects will go to the plants. The insects being here will bring in the birds, and of course there's fish that arrive because there's now water, and and then you got the mammals like the muskrat we talked about, the beaver of course, and turtles, amphibians, frogs, snakes, all kinds of stuff that comes in. As a matter of fact, recently we've seen, and a number of people have seen, river otters that have come in, and that's just a really, really special thing.
Well, Peg, Rob, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories about how you helped clean this place up and provide a home for beavers. This is a beautiful spot, and man, there's a whole thriving ecosystem here. So thank you so much for teaching me about this today.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Want to learn more about our national parks? Then hit that subscribe button, friend. Stay up to date and catch bonus features by following us on Instagram @Outsider.